Today we have the two biggest games in the history of Nuneaton Town Football Club. Hello and welcome to part 72 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have, hopefully, our final two games of the League 2 season. We're away against Hartlepool and then at home against Leyton Orient. We're currently 1 point clear of Scunthorpe in the final automatic promotion spot. We're on 80 points, they're on 79 points. We know if we win both of these games, we will definitely be playing in League 1 next season. If we don't win both of these games, we might yet have to go through the playoffs. And nobody wants the playoffs. Since you were last with me, this has been the form that has got us here. We are on a long unbeaten run, which is scary because we don't stay on long unbeaten runs for very long. More worryingly, we have only won one of our last 5 games. So although we're on a 10-game unbeaten run, 5 of those have been draws and 4 of those draws are in the last 5 games. So we're stuttering over the line. Fingers crossed we've got enough in the tank just to make it through these last couple of games. Dan Fisher is on the verge of history as well. He's currently sat on 34 league goals for the season, 37 goals in all competitions. Both those figures are the exact records that Livesey Mason has. He had 37 goals overall in his season, 34 in the league in our conference promotion season. So Fisher just needs a goal in one of these 2 games to set some records. But look at that. How ridiculous is this situation? We have 2 of the top 3 scorers in the division. McDonald has really put his scoring boots back on in the last few games. 5 goals in his last 4 games. He's thinking in terms of catching up Fisher. A couple of hat-tricks with Fisher stuttering. McDonald could yet have the record yet. We've got goals in us. We still have a bit of a leaky defence. So fingers crossed we can drag ourselves over the line today. We've got Nadat in goal. A back 4 of Anderson, Laskowski, Sawyer and Worrell Bristow. That is an injured Anderson, but he's our captain. He's a team leader. I know there's a section of the comments section that don't really like him, think he doesn't perform. Well, he's the best of our back 4, average rating wise. So there's that. Plus he's our captain. Plus he's a team leader. Plus he's already gone through 2 promotions with us. We need him. That run of not winning games coincides with him being out injured. So I think he offers more to the team than just being the best left back we've got, which he is as well. A midfield of Darwin, Squire Bill and an injured Skelton. Similar arguments really. This time it's just about quality though. He's so much better than everyone else we've got in our midfield. He's got 15 goals and 18 assists from 42 appearances this season, averaging a 7.63. We've already got him on loan for next year, but we need him today. We need him to, again, the poor form coincides with Skelton and Anderson both being injured. And then we've got Ball in behind McDonald and Fisher with their over 60 league goals between them so far this season. On paper, that should be enough. But you never know. We've bottled things before. I don't even think this counts as... If we mess it up, I don't think it counts as bottling. I know you lot will tell me it's a bottle job if we mess it up. But we're Nuneaton. We were predicted to finish in the bottom half of the division. We've got no money. We've got a bunch of non-league players who've been with us for years, along with a bunch of kids who are playing their first season of league football. We don't have a single player in our squad who's an established Football League player. And we did push Bradford and Forest pretty far. So even if we end up dropping down into the playoffs and not getting promoted, I mean, it'd be sad, but it wouldn't be disastrous. Especially because, we're talking about this in the comments the other day, that is this team even ready for League 1? We speculated a little bit when we got promoted from the conference and they performed brilliantly. But we've got a lot of young players in this squad who could do with another season to improve. Especially when you factor in the likes of Anderson and Laskowski and whoever else who, although they've been good for us for many years, are they really able to take the step up? Or do we need these youngsters to not only get good enough to compete with them, but to actually be better than those players so they're ready for League 1? 1-0 down. Scunthorpe, we're keeping a very close eye on you. As it stands, we are still holding on to 3rd place. There's still a game to go as well, remember. Ball with a wicked shot from miles out, and it flies wide. We can't afford to lose this game. that would be I mean, I've just given my speech about how it wouldn't be a disaster. Lose this game, it's a disaster. Dan Fisher, this close to being a record setter. Please tell me it's not going to be one of those days for Fisher, because he's had a few of them recently. We had the same thing with Livesey Mason in our promotion season from the conference. He just stopped scoring towards the end of the season. I've talked before about my speculation about a cap on the goals that they can score, but we've seen that Fisher's only second top scorer in the division. There's clearly not a cap, because there's someone else in the division playing for Fylde who aren't even in a playoff picture, and he's got 40 goals this season, or 39 or something ridiculous. So there's clearly not a cap. But Fisher and McDonald, both of them, been rubbish in that first half. Absolutely rubbish. Joe Anderson's motivated. So am I, Joe. Let's go out there and, goodness me, let's grab a win. Big ball forward to Fisher. Doesn't keep hold of it. But Darwin now to McDonald. And Darwin again. McDonald can't... I mean, he tried to spin his man and ended up just slowing himself down. But Squire Bill, back to Skelton, to McDonald. Darwin, there's an equaliser. That's massively important. Darwin, straight after the half-time break, brings it back to 1-1, and that puts us 1 point ahead of Scunthorpe again. I don't know what's going on in the Scunthorpe game. We're going to have a look at updates from other matches in a second. I should have looked at that at half-time. But if we go to updates, what's going on with Scunthorpe? Scunthorpe are they're away against Forest. Come on, Forest, do us a favour. Rotherham, though, breathing down our necks as well. And we need to win this game. I mean, it was the case before the match started. There you go. What a tackle from Joe Anderson. People say he's not any good. McDonald crosses to Ball, and there's a goal. 2-1. And that is even more massive than the last one was. If Rotherham managed to slip up and we managed to hold on, we could even get promoted today. Which I mean, that would be very pleasant. McDonald, cross, go on, there it is. And it's a lovely finish from James Ball. What's going on in the Rotherham game? Rotherham are winning away against Port Vale. So, Scunthorpe, though. I mean, Scunthorpe could be out of the picture. As things stand, Scunthorpe are out of the promotion picture. It just becomes a straight-up race between us and Rotherham on the last day if things stay as they are. Squire Bill wins the ball back. McDonald, Ball again. Ball off the inside of the post. That's twice today we've hit the woodwork. If we don't end up winning this match, it's because the Football Manager gods are just being cruel to us. I'm taking off Dan Fisher because he's just not turned up. I can say he's not over and over again. He has not turned up. We don't have a right back to replace Worrell Bristow with. We do have Jamal Redhead, though, who can come on for Sawyer, who's not playing brilliantly. I'm just going to keep Skelton on for another 10 minutes. He's probably shouldn't be kept on, but then I remember he's only here on loan, and if we break him completely, we'll just send him back to Man United. Fisher, again with an opportunity to break the record, plus go a long way towards securing League One football next year. Forces a save out of their keeper, and that was his last touch. And I am keeping an eye on Skelton. I want another goal, then I can take him off. Ball in behind again. Ball really wants it. Ball's had a lot of good opportunities today. Looking at those stats, we've had 3 clear-cut chances to Hartlepool's 0 today. We deserve this win, but we're still just holding on to it. Ball again. I mean, James Ball is playing out of his skin, trying to do it all by himself. But we do need to take off Skelton at this point because he's just not going to be effective anymore. We've got Chambers-Shaw to come on. Chambers-Shaw, that was his position before Skelton arrived a year and a half ago. So hopefully he can come on and just pick up where he left off. I thought he was going to be the next big thing for us in midfield, but his career has been halted slightly by the arrival of a youngster on loan from Man United. I do get the point people make about not relying on loan players, but then Skelton's a 4.5-star player, so you saw how he's done this season. Ball scores again. James Ball wants to play in League One. What a performance from Ball today. And surely now this result is secure and we can go into that final day of the season. It's going to be us versus Rotherham. If we even pick up a draw, I think a draw might even be enough on the last day. Not that we want to play for a draw, but surely our goal difference is better than anybody else's. I haven't actually checked. Our goal difference is much better than Rotherham's. So as long as we don't let Hartlepool back into the game today, if things end as they are, a draw on the last day will be enough. and we're at home, and surely we can find a win from somewhere. Garrick now makes it 4. It's been easy in the end. We made it look harder than it was, but the stats tell the true story. We've been dominating the entire game, and we just needed the goals to come. Dan Fisher he's got stage fright. He's afraid of breaking Livesey Mason's record, but that's a lovely finish from Garrick, who hasn't really had much in the way of an opportunity for us this year. We won't be keeping him. He's another one who's here on loan. We'll send him back. He hasn't really done the business, although he has scored a couple of important goals during this run-in. It's Garrick again, plays it through to Darwin, and I thought he was going to make it 5. 5 might be rubbing it in a little bit, although, to be fair, clear-cut chances, 1 for them, 5 for us, so it wouldn't be rubbing it in at all. 4-1, flatters them at the moment. Ball. Just nothing, but no one cares. We just want the game to be over at this point. What's going on in the Rotherham game? That's more important. Rotherham still only winning 1-0. Come on, Port Vale. Last minute equaliser, and we're in League One. Where are Port Vale? Port Vale should want it as well. They're just outside the playoffs. Come on, Port Vale. Grab a last minute equal. 2 late goals. Let's beat Rotherham. Come on, get yourselves into the playoff picture. You know you want it. And I think the Rotherham game's probably ended with them winning, which is fine, because now we just have to beat 20th place Leyton Orient, or not lose to 20th place Leyton Orient on the last day, and we secure a promotion. Let's go do that. No changes then for the final game of the season. Why would we make any changes? All we want today is to not lose and to have Dan Fisher to score at least once and break the record. That's all today is about. Let's cross fingers. Let's cross everything, because goodness me, back on episode 50 of this series, I didn't think we'd have a chance to be in League One by episode 70, whatever it is. So it would be very, very pleasant. Oh, Robbie Nadak could be playing his final game for the club. Darwin is out of contract in the summer, so we'll be trying to sign him permanently. Nadak will obviously try and sign permanently because he's brilliant. And Bobby Joe Warrell-Bristow will probably offer a new contract. So I didn't actually realise he was out of contract. So as he's broken his way back into the team for this run-in, we'll probably offer him a new deal. Earlier in the year, Mole was playing ahead of him, but Mole's already got his contract for next year, and there's question marks over if he's actually good enough. So I think probably we have to reward everybody for this season, regardless of what league we end up in. I think we probably do need a promotion to be able to sign Darwin permanently, because he's almost as good as Skelton. So to bring someone like him in permanently would be a big coup. But then we thought that about Fisher and McDonald and Ball and all these other players we've signed permanently. And here they all are as Nuneaton players on not very much money too. Joe Anderson's picked up another injury. He's got a gashed head. Our captain's going to have to play with a bloody head bandage. It's an iconic image. Has he got the bandage on? He doesn't seem to have the bandage on. He needs the bandage on, because then we're guaranteed a win if he looks all beaten up and dragging himself through. Come on, Joe. And come on, Dan Fisher. Goodness me. We're losing. Scunthorpe are up ahead again of Rotherham, though, at the moment. Does that mean Rotherham are losing too? Who are Rotherham playing? Rotherham are away against Coventry. Oh, goodness me. We need a favour from Coventry. I know we should be looking at this replay, but I don't care. But actually, Coventry need a win to get into the playoffs for themselves. So it's not even that we need a favour from Coventry. We need our local rivals to get themselves into the playoffs, because if they can pick up a win, it doesn't matter at all what goes on in that Rotherham game, and Scunthorpe can't catch us. Remember, we went behind in the last game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's all going wrong, but we do like to make things hard for ourselves. Ball's in again, though, and no, not quite. But James Ball really wants to play League One football. Skelton with the corner. Falls to Squire Bill. He's just sort of running in the wrong direction with it. Come on, Bill, do something. He wins a free kick. It's not the perfect thing he could have done, but it's allowed us to have a goal opportunity. Darwin, it was a great free kick, but Laskowski couldn't quite get there ahead of the Orient defender. And it's all gone quiet again. Come on, lads, don't blow it on the last day. Oh, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. Oh no, don't make it 2. Oh, what a save from Robbie Nadat, player of the season. That could be, imagine if we end up in League One next year, thanks to Robbie Nadat making that save. I mean, it won't be thanks to that because we're still losing. And if we lose and get promoted, it wouldn't have mattered if he made the save or not. But I'll write my own history. Right. Rotherham still not winning. It must still be 0-0 in the Rotherham game. What we really want is Rotherham to drop down to 81 points because that means they've gone behind against Coventry. Coventry's still hovering at the bottom of the playoffs at the moment as well. So we need Fylde to push on in their game, to put some pressure on Coventry, so they then have to go and grab the win against Rotherham. Although really, if everything stayed as it is, it would be perfectly satisfactory. Dan Fisher now, with a chance to break the record. He does not. Goodness me. I mean, he's level on the record. He can have joint photograph in the hallway of the. Do football clubs have hallways? Lobby? Is that what's the bit? Reception. That's probably what you'd call it. Yeah, a picture of him in there. That'll do. Why are we looking at some Orient player that we've never heard of? We're going to have to make some changes in a minute. Josh McDonald! Sawyer! Equaliser just as Rotherham go into the lead as well. Goodness me. This is getting tense. So Rotherham have just gone ahead in their game, but we've just equalised. So does that put us back up above them again? Because for a split second there, we were below them. Now we need to go on and win this game now. We can't just sit here at 1-1 and hope that, right, we're taking Fisher off. Get Garrick on again. James Ball's having a poor game today. But we don't, I mean, Darwin could go further forward and we can bring Chambers-Shaw on. See, there's nobody too big for a substitution in this team. We'll leave it there for now. And please, somebody just grab a winner. Because, if Rotherham, Coventry have immediately equalised, I think. Coventry have immediately equalised. Rotherham were up for like a second, and then both us and Coventry pinned them back. And now we need to make our final change. Anderson is shattered and not playing very well. We've got Craig Hudson on the bench. Let's have a standing ovation for our captain, Joe Anderson, as Hudson comes on to replace him for the last 10 minutes. Please, won't somebody score a winner for us? Oh, Hudson gets in with a tackle. And Laskowski, big ball over the top for Garrick. Can he score? He hits the post. Oh, goodness me. The amount of times we've hit the post in this episode. We just need a goal. From anyone, anywhere. Josh McDonald. Grab a goal. Squire Bill with a great tackle. And it's Sawyer. Big ball over the top again. We've resorted to long ball, but it's Garrick again. And again, doesn't convert the opportunity. Caelan Garrick has had 2 golden opportunities to win us this match. Rotherham are now ahead again in their game. And with 8 seconds to go, it's Orient attacking. If they score here, we're in the playoffs. I think we're up. I think a draw was enough, regardless of what happened in the Rotherham game. We just need some confirmation. Backdoor Kev, once again. We never do these things easily, do we? But I think we're in League One. We are. We've got promoted. That's utterly, utterly ridiculous. Whoo! Nuneaton have won promotion to Sky Bet League Run, finishing the season with a 12-match unbeaten run. Forget the fact. The fact that so many of them were draws. In fact, it even says we've drawn 4 of our last 5 home league games. We really have stumbled and stuttered over the line, but we've got there. Do we get a budget? Of course we don't get. I mean, we've got some more wage budget. We're still not going to be. It's still going to be a while before we can pay cash money for a football player. But goodness me, we have made it into League One. Whew. This is going to... It's getting exciting. Oh, it's getting exciting. What I need, though, is to make sure that we can start spending money on transfers before my signing youth players from the Premier League tactic stops working. Because it's going to get a point where they're just not good enough to improve our team anymore. And that's when we're going to have a problem if we can't go and spend 100,000 on a player here and there. Oh, can't believe it. We're in League One. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.